Hi there, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Rich Scott and Democracy Theater. So, I don't know how to make this short and pithy. I don't know how to make this fun and entertaining. Of course, Tim Dillon does. He's a master of this. He is I think this generation's George Carlin, or certainly the comedian that comes closest to it. Uh, but what is happening right now is uh, is the construction of the new world. What comes after, it was the same thing with the Industrial Revolution. Now we're having the robot AI revolution, and the world is being put in place right now, and it's being put in place without input from people like you and I, and that's pretty normal, but also from a bunch of other people who may care a little bit more about the average Jill and Joe average. But I want to continue this conversation. I hope you hang out for a little bit. I think it's the most important stuff that's going on right now. Everything that is happening now, like the protest in L.A. and in New York, all of that is part of all of this. But anyway, let's start here with Tim Dillon and see what he has to say.
Everyone knows I'm not a huge fan of Elon Musk. I think that Elon Musk, one of the most offensive things to me is people trying to be funny who aren't funny. This is a horrible thing. This is a terrible thing that happens. People that want to be funny that have other things, like, I don't know, all the money in the world, and that's not enough. It's never enough. Watching someone try to be funny and fall down on their face, it's terrible. It's, as a comedian, as somebody who is funny, it's sad to watch, and it makes him cringe. Like, I want my billionaires kind of quiet and evil and, plotting, and I don't want them doing like dad jokes and like, I don't want to see it, right? So there's a cringe element to him. Again, I've only met him one time. He's very nice to me, and he's clearly a smart guy and whatever. But I don't trust him. I don't trust any of those tech people, because I've said a lot, I don't know what they want, but it's not what they say.
That, ladies and gentlemen, that is all we should be talking about at this very moment. I know that we say that we can walk and chew gum at the same time, but that's not what's happening. What is happening is that we're being distracted away from what they want to do, which is implement their vision of what the world should look like after the implementation of the AI robot world, or the post-job world.
This is the problem with these people. It's not what they say they want. They want another thing. That's why, like, Zuckerberg in these interviews, like, he's very calm and quiet and like methodical when he answers the question, because he can't tell you the answer, because the answer is like really disturbing. And the answer is like, yeah, well, we're planning on like a massive population reduction. I mean, how else will this work?
Right? How else will it work? Again, I don't know. What I do know is that there's no conversation happening about what will the world look like for the average human American. Every time somebody brings it up, Peter Thiel or David Sachs, they're all saying, oh no, there will be jobs, and oh no, there will be other things to do, but there's not. There is not going to be any jobs. There's not a task that humans do that will not be taken over by, totally eliminated, because it's part of the 80% of the bullshit jobs, or taken over by AI, or taken over by robots. There is not a single thing, and we're not talking about it. We're not talking about what do we do with the rest of us.
Then the interviewer was like, interesting. Like, you can't do that. So whatever Elon Musk got into the White House to do, why does Elon Musk care about government fraud and waste and abuse?
Which he found none of, right? Really, he didn't find anything.
Does anyone, why? He makes his living off government contracts. He makes his living off the government largesse and a lot of taxpayer funded.
Did you see the subtitles? Large ass, large ass. Oh my God, that was funny. Sorry. Yeah, I'm a 2-year-old.
Things that he depends on. What is his concern? I don't think he does. I don't think any of them do. I don't think Sam Altman cares. I mean, I don't think any of them care. I think they want the government to open up their coffers and give these guys all the money in the world that they don't have. Whatever's left in this country that they don't have, they want.
And that's the same thing that you hear from Crystal Ball and other people, commentators, is that Elon Musk, because he can't, even with all the money that he has, there's no way that one individual can fund the mission to Mars. So he wanted the government. That's why he was upset. He wanted his guy at NASA, because that would help him out. This is why I say that if we cared and it was all about raising up all humans and not killing off the last 6 billion people, then space exploration and AI would be done collaboratively between nation states like China and Russia, right? But that's not what's happening. So what are they doing here, right?
A lot of people don't really know what's going on. I talk to a lot of people, and a lot of people don't know what's going on. And a lot of people don't understand why an administration that got elected going, we're going to actually go in there, and this permanent government of the CIA and all these agencies that are constantly fomenting conflict all over the world, starting wars.
Yes, this is all connected, right? This is all connected. So, as I've said, they tried during the pandemic to get the liberals, or whatever you want to call them, to get the digital ID, to start this process by forcing everybody into having a vaccine passport. And they try to use the liberals to do it, but they figured out, okay, they don't have the power. They don't even have really the conviction to want to push this onto the population. What do? MAGA will follow Trump no matter what he says and does. Right? He's the candidate that brags that he can shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue in broad daylight, and people will say, it wasn't him. Yeah, it wasn't him. So they needed that loyalty, and then they're using the canard of voter frauds and an invasion of illegal aliens, right, to get these MAGA people to do a 180 and now support the deep state and support the digital prison and support all the things that are coming down the pike that they need to have in place before the full effect of the robot economy, of the AI economy hits us, and we start wanting to rise up, because there's no food, there's no jobs, there's no nothing. They've taken it all away from us. They're going to take our houses, our cars, everything, because we are not going to have any money. because there's no jobs and nobody wants to talk about it.
And spying on Americans and listening to them, we're going to get rid of that. However, before we do that, let's sideline that for a minute and let's first give Palantir $800 million so that they can compile a list of everything you've ever done. Does that sound like does that sound like the deep state's going away? I'm curious. I don't even understand. I'm confused. And
Me too. I'm confused. Of all the things that the MAGA people were supposed to, and the Trump administration was supposed to, they were supposed to go after the deep state. They were supposed to release the Epstein list so that we could get the stranglehold on our politicians removed by whoever is holding that list and preventing us from moving forward as a nation together, who is fomenting all this strife amongst us. But they're not, because Trump was installed. It wasn't an assassination. I'm telling you, it wasn't.
If you're not confused, you're an op.
Agreed. Absolutely. If you flip Benny, baby Benny, if you flip the 180 and you're following Trump down this road with Palantir, you're a paid op. You're not. You're not a moral person. You don't stand by your conviction. You are worshiping a false idol. You're a worthless piece of shit.
Truly, if you know the answer, you're an op. I'm no longer speaking to people who aren't dumbfounded and confused because they're incredibly dishonest. Anyone that's not confused is incredibly dishonest. Anyone that has a clear line of shit right now that goes, well, actually, let me tell you what. You're compromised. You're fully. All these people on the Gaza thing, even the staunchest Israel defenders I know are going, that's a lot. It's a bit much. Right. So if you have not one reservation about what's going on over there, I'm not saying you have to feel one way or another way, but if you don't have any if you have no reservations about what's happening with all these kids getting killed, I don't know, I can't trust you.
Right.
If you don't have any reservations about Palantir taking everyone's information,
how do you trust them?
I don't know. I can't. I don't know if I can trust you. I think they're buying people left and right. This is my guess. They try to buy me. My pussy costs a lot of money. I get invited to these.
Hey, I'm cheap. You can come by me. But seriously, if the only thing we should be talking about is the future, or not future, the now coming AI robot economy and the power grab by the people behind Palantir and, Elon and Peter Thiel and David Sachs and all these people, they don't have what is best for you and I. They don't have that. What the hell happened here? They don't have that in mind. It's not about you and I. It's not about benefiting us all. It is about whatever post-humanist, technocratic world order they want. So please, let's not chase the yellow ball that they're throwing, care about this over here, care about that over there. Don't get confused about the use of ICE and the massive use of force on Americans. It is meant to scare us all and to shut us up and to not talk about what is happening right in front of us right now. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Please take care of yourself. Take care of each other.